Welcome back. Lots of stocks in focus. The first one on our radar is Honasa Consumer. All eyes were on that, especially, because of the Big Bang listing and then the expectations on numbers. But here is Mangalam to tell us how the numbers look this time around. Mangalam?
Well, after a Big Bang listing, you don't expect a company's first quarterly performance to disappoint, and that's exactly what has happened with Mamaearth as well. Good numbers coming in, 21% growth in the company's top line, but importantly, the street was eyeing operational improvement. Out there, the EBITDA has grown by 53.5%, margins coming in at 8.1% versus 6.4%. There was a one-off out there. Even if you adjust for that, it's close to 7.1%. Not a bad number indeed. The net profit has nearly doubled at around 29 crores versus 15 odd crores. The internals look strong as well. The company said like growth adjusted for Mompresso has been around 24%, which is nearly 3 times the FMCG industry. Underlying volume growth has been 27% as well. And they've expanded their retail reach to nearly 1.66 lakh outlets. The first half, ad spends have been moderated by about 265 basis points as a proportion of sales as well. And that has, led to their EBITDA margin expansion. Jefferies, which has initiated coverage on the stock just a few days ago, has actually, said that the management remains confident of driving 30% plus growth over the next, couple of quarters as well. And as a result of their margin beat, they've upgraded their FY24 earnings and EBITDA estimates by 5 to 6%. And they already had a 520 rupee target price on the stock. They've upped that to 530 as well. Though, remember, the stock has rallied from 260 odd rupees to nearly 360 rupees. So, see mild green on Honasa today.
All right. Thanks a lot for that, Mangalam. Well, we'll also have the management who will be joining in at 9:40 a.m. later today. Let's turn attention to the auto stocks. Sonia, TVS Motors, they are foraying into a new market internationally?
Oh, yes, a couple of new markets. So, TVS Motor, if you've noticed the trajectory on the stock, it's hit a fresh 52-week high yesterday. And it's been phenomenal, the run on TVS Motor. The stock is up 60% this year. And the market cap of TVS Motor is now approaching 1 lakh crores. So, that's the kind of momentum that we've seen. Now, just to put it into perspective, TVS is expanding its global presence. It has entered the Vietnam market now. It's launched a range of two-wheelers over there. But not just that, a couple of days ago, it also entered into the European market and now is starting with the France market. So it's expanding its global presence, and the management has been very vociferous in its move in the export market. So currently, exports contribute 25% to its overall business as of Q1 of FY24, and the hope is to raise that further. This will also mean the EBITDA per vehicle for the company will go up. Remember, in Q2, the EBITDA margins were at a record high of 11.1%, and the management in their conference call said that the EBITDA per vehicle could expand further because of higher export presence. Let's look at two brokerages. UBS has a buy with a target price of 1900 on the stock. Jefferies has a buy with a target price of 2000 on the stock. Good tidings for TVS Motor.
Okay, all right. Good times for TVS Motors. It was expensive. It remains expensive, but the numbers have been looking very, very good. Turning attention to NMDC, where I spoke to the management a few days ago, and they told us here on CNBC-TV18 that there possibly be a price change in the next coming days. And sources tell me here at CNBC-TV18 that, in fact, yes, the price change is effective from today. It's effective from midnight itself, and it's effective both in Chhattisgarh as well as in Karnataka. Citi had come out with the note. They were talking about a near 1,000 rupee price increase in the coming months because of the strength we've seen in international prices as well as domestic steel production picks up. And the quantum that we have seen, it's across products. That means it's on lumps as well as fines. 200 rupees in Chhattisgarh, in Karnataka is around 300 rupees on. We reached out to the management, but no comment coming in from there. But, we are reasonably sure that the price hike has got affected. But Sonia, tell us about IndiGo, Interglobe Aviation. Some negative news coming in there?
I think it's just going to be a sentiment negative because there is a tax notice that they've got from the income tax department. And I think on the back of that, there could be a sentiment negative hit. The income tax demand is for 740 crores for the assessment year 2017 and 927 crores for the assessment year 2018. So the company has in the press release said that they will contest the same. They will take an appropriate legal remedy as well. This could be a minor hit on the stock. Otherwise, if you've noticed, the stock has done very well because passenger growth has been at an all-time high. Crude prices are down as well, down 4% overnight. So lots of positive triggers. I think this news will be a sentiment hit, but the market will overlook it and look at the other positives.
Okay, all right. Well, let's go across to Vivek. He's joining to tell us about Cipla. Vivek, morning.
Well, good morning. On November 18th, the company did tell the exchanges that they had received a warning letter status as far as the Pithampur, Madhya Pradesh was concerned. So now, we have accessed the warning letter that was issued by US FDA to Cipla. And some of the observations and some of the contents of the letter are quite serious. The US FDA has highlighted a couple of key concerns as far as this particular facility is concerned. They are highlighted data integrity issues along with various product complaints. Along with that, they've also mentioned that there have been similar as well as repeat observations even in the Goa facility. Remember, even that facility is under a warning letter status currently, and also has asked the company to go ahead and take help of third-party consultants to address all of the issues. Now, giving a quick timeline of events as far as the Pithampur facility is concerned, remember, February 2023, the US FDA inspected this particular facility, gave 8 observations in the Form 483. After that, in August 2023, they classified the facility as an official action indicated, and now the status has been upgraded. It's a more serious status, that is a warning letter. Now, what does it indicate? Most of the analysts on the street had expected this particular classification to come by, so most of it is already priced in as per analysts. Now, along with that, what we need to watch out for are 2 key product launches, that is generic Advair as well as generic Abraxane. Both of these launches will now be pushed out to FY25 as per analysts.
Okay, thanks very much, Vivek, for that. Let's focus on 2 more names. Don't talk about these very often, but Genesys and MapmyIndia, which I think we touch upon more often. Rima, hi, morning.
Hi, morning. So Genesys is a small IT company. Its market capitalization is about 1,350 crore rupees. Yesterday, the companies announced that they've entered into a strategic partnership with Survey of India. Now, Survey of India is India's national surveying and mapping authority. And together, the two plan to create not just maps, the 2D maps that we're used to, but 3D digital twins for major Indian cities and towns. Sorry, and eventually, I think one of the scope, the way they can expand the scope of this collaboration is sell this data, use this data as a product and sell it as a content as a service. Now, the stock was already excited yesterday because it rallied close to about 17% in trade. Now we'll wait to see more contours of the detail and the real opportunity. Now, MapmyIndia is the other one because the board will meet on Monday, 27th of November, where they will consider a fundraise via a QIP or pref. The company already has more than 500 crore of cash in the books, so this will be incremental. Maybe it is to boost their growth because the company had given a guidance of 40% plus revenue growth for the full year, but in the first half of the year, they're tracking a top line growth of about 28%, though H2 is typically stronger for the company, but there is that impending announcement about a fundraise. Back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot for that, Rima. In fact, we will have the management of Genesys International joining in at 8:35 a.m. later today, so do stay tuned in for that. Vivek is joining in to give us some more stocks that are in the news this morning. Vivek, what are you looking at?
Well, quite a few stocks on the radar on the back of news flow. First on my list, Shalby Hospitals. The company has said that it is now going to construct a 175-bed hospital in Santa Cruz, Mumbai, awaiting still more details on this particular construction that the company has given out. Welspun Corp is the other company in focus, the company that recently acquired Syntex Plastics. Now, Syntex Plastics has received the Odisha government's nod to set up a manufacturing unit. The company is looking to invest close to 480 crore to set up a CPVC as well as a plastic tans unit with a capacity of over 37,000 million tons. This particular project will be implemented over the next 3 fiscal years, and the company's chairman says that the foray into the PVC pipe segment will further strengthen our presence into the building materials segment. The other stock on our radar is Walchand Nagar Industries, the company which has a facility in Walchand Nagar in Pune. Now there is a labor union strike that has been called. The company estimates that a loss of production, on back of this particular strike per day will be 1 crore. The company says that the strike has been called by the union to demand a wage settlement.
Yeah, all right, thanks for that, Vivek. Well, let's do a quick recap of all the stocks we just covered. The ones with positive news flow: Honasa, TVS, NMDC, Genesys, CE Info Systems, Shalby, as well as Welspun Corp. Well, stocks with negative news flow include IndiGo Aviation, Cipla, and Walchand Nagar. Well, that's about stocks in focus, but let's hop across to Manisha. She joins us to tell us what's going on in the commodity markets. Morning, Manisha.
Morning, Nigel. Thank you for that. Well, I'm looking at some profit taking across commodities, and that is ahead of the long weekend in U.S. It's a Thanksgiving holiday. And apart from that, we also have seen a jump up come in for the U.S. dollar index. That's back above 104. The 10-year Treasury yields also have surged, and that seemed to be putting pressure, especially in case of metals, where copper also has seen a decline of nearly 2% overnight. But a major chunk of decline really came in for the crude oil prices. At one point in time, we were down by 4%, settled 2% on the lower side. This is after the OPEC meeting was shifted to November 30th from November 26th, saying this is a statement coming in from Saudi Arabia that they are not satisfied with the oil production levels of member countries. Now, the markets are really contemplating on whether we are looking at deeper cuts, extended cuts, and that is what weighed on. And apart from that, the U.S. inventories also gained up by 8.7 million barrels, more than double than what the street was anticipating. So various factors weighing onto the markets right now.
All right, Manisha, thanks very much for that. We'll take a quick commercial break here. We'll come back. We have Deepan Mehta of Elixir Equities joining in to take us through what he's making of things. We'll also connect with the management of Genesys International Corp. That's an interesting company. And we'll ask him about the new partnership which Rima was telling us about earlier. Stay tuned.